I would like to greet everyone and wish everyone Ramadan Kareem. My name is Lyubov. I'm marketing manager at NNTC. Just once again, I would like to remind you that you can use chat to ask questions anytime during the presentation. Just make sure that it's addressed to all panelists and attendees. As well, you can comment and communicate with other participants in there as well. And first of all, I would like to thank all of you for joining our online product launch that called the Technologies to Protect Your People from the Second Wave. Today we will have 4 presentations. Our speakers will present the products of our portfolio that will help organizations and employees to minimize risks and challenges of going back to the normal work operations. First, our speaker is Dmitry Dashyany. It's our general manager. Dmitry will briefly introduce our company to those who doesn't know us. And he will talk about IoT-based tracing for labor-intensive industries. Please, Dmitry.
Thank you, Lyubov. I would like to welcome everyone in our webinar. And before I go into the presentation, and maybe still some people will be joining, this experience reminded me of the first, let's say, webinars that I was doing in my career, and it was around 10 years back. It was somewhere around 2010 and 2011, and clearly the technology made a huge leap forward from these days, because then, like when preparing for the webinar and delivering it, your main concern were the technical issues, that the people will have problems with connections, that you will not be visible, you will not be audible, the recording is not going to work. So everything was like really immature. And now, with the platforms that are available, and we are using Zoom ourselves, but we have Microsoft Teams, and there are other tools available. These are lesser things to worry, and frankly speaking, when preparing for the event, we were mostly focused on our own looks, on how the slides and the messages and the timing are going to be presented. So maybe this is not, let's say, the worst time to have this situation that the world is facing right now, just because we are more prepared than we used to be before, and a big part of it is the technology. And in NNTC, being the technology company, we believe that it's going to help to deliver a proper response as well. So let me share the slides. Okay, I will start it first, then we'll go to the Zoom interface. It looks like you still don't see it, right? Okay, yeah. So I'm going to talk today about the IoT-based contact tracing for labor-intensive industries. But before, as Luba advertised, I'm going to introduce our company. I mean, most of you know a little bit about NNTC. This is why you have joined the webinar. But for those of you who don't, just in a few minutes, I will say who we are and what we do. So we're a UE-based vendor, IT company, focusing on the emerging technologies, and we belong to international group of companies that is working in Russia, in Eastern Europe, in Middle East, having physical offices, but as a group we do projects in more than 40 countries, and we focus across industries and across technologies. But as NNTC, we are, let's say, on the forefront of the emerging technologies. We do Internet of Things, we do video analytics, we do virtual reality, and let's say in the normal life, we focus on 6 products, on 6 offerings. Firstly, this is iFalcon Control, the video analytics and face recognition family for security, for visitor and attendance management. We offer enterprise digital twin. We offer the IoT and AI software digital worker for the health and safety situations. We are doing dedicated drone management software and deliver security operations center as a service from our SOC based out of Bahrain. And actually, as an NTC, we are the latest addition to the group, and we've been working in the region for around a couple of years, but we do have some big names with us as our customers. There is Dubai Police, there is Saudi Aramco, there is Expo, there are customers in Oman, in Bahrain, and UAE, and there are ongoing opportunities even beyond the region, say India or Egypt or Southeast Asia. So some of the products that we have, they do resonate with the market. But we all found ourselves in the situation where, say, the normal operations, the normal business stopped for the time, just because everyone has different challenges these days, and those challenges are either direct or indirect consequences of the pandemic situation all the world is facing. And of course, we don't want to be part of the problem. We want to be part of the solution. And we were lucky enough that the expertise that NNTC has and the kind of technologies that we are working on has like a few applications that can help the enterprises and government organizations as well to navigate through the current crisis as efficiently and as smoothly as possible. So the topic that I'm going to start from now is about the risks that the whole enterprise can go on a lockdown if there are infected employees that are identified. And from the global history, from the, let's say, how the pandemic unrolled, we saw that the countries who were able to do the contact tracing quickly and efficiently, they minimized the impact. So they kind of flattened the curve and they had a limited impact in terms of the infected people and in terms of casualties. So really, this is one of the most efficient, maybe the most efficient techniques to combat the spreading of the virus as recommended by World Health Organization as well. And here the question is how to do that, because the idea of contact tracing is not new. Even like as soon as the humanity understood that epidemics is spread from human to human, they started to do that. So all the previous epidemics in all parts of the world, even before the internet, even before the mobile devices, everything, people were doing contact tracing by pen and paper. And certainly this is also possible. And this was done, I'm sure, in the 2020 as well. But there are better options. And when thinking about better options, we had a foundation of our industrial platform for health and safety, Digital Worker, that uses IoT and video analytics to understand that people are doing their operations on industrial sites in a safe way, and to see what is generally happening. Is everyone okay, and is everything happening as per the plan? So this piece of software like can process the IoT signals. There is rules correlations and a lot of features. And basically, we decided to take a subset of all this technology and apply it to the simple contact tracing. Because let's say a sick employee is identified. Instead of shutting down the whole site or the whole organization, as might be requested by the government and medical officials, just for them to be on the safe side, what is possible is to understand who can be potentially impacted by the disease, and only test and only ask to self-quarantine this group of people. So whoever was not in the proximity, in the contact with the sick person, he can just go on as normal. And certainly this would minimize the impact, especially, for example, if you are having the organization that is working in shifts, or if you have the organization that is distributed between sites or some other geography. So having this kind of reliable information can really save a lot of time and a lot of money to the company. And to do that, we have come up with the small Bluetooth beacons that can work on the battery forever. Definitely, they will work long enough for us to find a vaccine. I mean, us as humankind. And they can be fixed to the equipment, to the personal protective gear, or to the uniform that the person is wearing to work. And those beacons are preset to store the information of any other beacon that it saw within the range of 2 meters. So if anyone came close enough for it to sense, then this information is stored, and then it can be downloaded through a special mobile scanner. It can be downloaded and stored centrally. So you have a graph of contacts of all the people in the organization. And if there is an impact, you can clearly understand what the impact is and minimize it. Actually, there are a lot of discussions, and there are applications that are released by many governments, and there are news that Apple and Google are working on some kind of anonymized way of contact tracing that will be embedded into the iOS and Android. So definitely, I cannot argue that phone is an option for that task, just because almost every person on the planet has a mobile phone, and it can almost all phones, they have Bluetooth, and they are smartphones these days. So potentially an application can give this kind of information. However, if you're talking about particular enterprises, if you are the ones who are responsible for a particular organization, then there are also problems associated with that, because first of all, like a purpose-made device is much more accurate than the phone that does, I don't know, thousands of other tasks. Secondly, you have to have the application installed. You have to have it running. If it's a personal phone, there can be some conflicting apps that would prevent it from installing, or it would be crashing, or whatever else might be happening. And actually, even if you have, I don't know, 95% of the people who have the app and who are using it properly, if like the impacted person is within the 5% who are having some issues with the app, then the whole effort goes void, right? So you are still you're still facing the full consequences. Also, there are questions about the security, but I would say that the main advantage of our approach is it can be reliably distributed among all the employees, and it can be made sure that it is always on, it is always with them while they are on site. So again, it has almost infinite battery life, and you just need to check that the person has this device with him. So the good thing about the solution is it is fairly basic in terms of the required hardware and the software as well. So we think that Of course, depending on the scale of the project, like the number of employees and the geography and other things, it can be implemented on site in around a month time with the basic functionality in place. So let's say you will be able to reliably understand who came in contact with who, and then just like filter out the list of these people and notify them manually. But once this basic this basic scope is achieved, which can be like the pilot project or the first phase of the project, certainly this can become a part of bigger workflow that the organization has. It can be integrated with the HR management system. It can be integrated with the email, with the workforce management, in order to like distribute the beacons more efficiently, in order to notify the people automatically if there is a potential impact through, I don't know, through a voice bot or through an email or through other means that are necessary for the organization. And again, as with any software product that NNTC is working on, we are quite flexible in terms of customization. So those integrations with external systems are like our bread and butter, and we have people who know Oracle, who know SAP, who know some industrial systems, SCADA, etc. So all this is doable if there is such request from the customer to kind of make it part of an ongoing workflow. And again, it's likely that the situation that we have now will stick with us for many, many months, and let's say remains and the way that people and the organizational behavior will change can stay for a couple of years at least. This is, I guess, what I wanted to say. This whole webinar is about introducing you to the technology, so we couldn't kind of fit a lot of information about 4 products. We just want to announce them to the general audience, and of course, like if you have specific interest to this topic or any subsequent, you have my contact details right in front of me, and I will post them to the chat as well. So feel free to reach out and have a more detailed discussion how the solution can be applied to your organization. Having said that, thank you for the attention, and in case there are some questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, Dmitry. We've got a few questions. The first question is, what is the price of the solution?
This is a very relevant question. And of course, most of you know the answer. As with any enterprise IT project, it depends. What I can say now is the price of the beacon itself starts from $50 for very small quantities, but depending on the scale of the implementation, it can be much less. And there is a part of the software and implementation that is needs to be included in the project. And it's not super expensive, but I cannot give you like a number just because it will definitely depend on the kind of infrastructure that organization has and the kind of expectations that this solution needs to meet.
We are receiving a few more questions, but unfortunately we won't be able to answer them all. We will make sure that we will send out all the answers to your emails. But the last one that I would like to ask you the following: can you do the system for the whole city, or it's only recommended for organizations?
It can be done for the whole city. It's just that we might need a different form factor, for example, a wearable device, because what we're offering now is kind of built to be fixed to the uniform or to the protective equipment. But again, there are no technological limitations of distributing it to the wider population. And again, it will be more reliable than the phone. And in case we are talking about let's say, some kind of social contacts. And if we are talking about slightly more sophisticated device, we can have, let's say, a warning, some kind of buzz or a light flashing on the device if you come too close to somebody, because there are these social distancing norms approved by World Health Organization that say, okay, that beyond 2 meters, everybody is safe. In the industrial process, it's normally hard to maintain it, so you cannot just, I don't know, break the way that conveyors are made just to maintain the social distancing. But if we're talking about like general people experience, shopping, talking to each other, then okay, if you come too close to somebody who is having the same device, he can be alerted as well. So we'll be happy to work on such project if there is a request coming from some government or some city.
Thank you, Dmitry, for the answers. Thank you, everyone who is asking questions on the chat. We will try to come back to them at the end of the event, if we still have time. But for now, I would like to introduce the next speaker, Abdullah Abu Hakmeh, Key Account Manager, with his presentation, Access Control Solution with Face Recognition and Terminal Sensors. Please, Abdullah.
Good morning, everyone. أولاً يسعد صباحكم جميعاً. Good morning, everyone. Hope all of you in a good health. Let me start with saying Ramadan Mubarak وربنا يتقبل منا جميعاً إن شاء الله. I would love also to start with thanks for everyone who joined today and give us a time to know more about our products that will be in the market soon. Let me just introduce myself first, and then I will just directly fly to the topic that I'll be discussing. So my name is Abdullah Abu Hakmeh. I'm the sales manager for Dubai. I'm handling the government and semi-government. At the same time, I have some bulky accounts and in different regions. As you can see, my contact details is here, so you can just do a screenshot. At the same time, I will just be sharing with you the presentation after our webinar will be done. Today, I'll be discussing an important topic that it can help to give our customers more efficiency, at the same time to be more safe soon, after we will be finishing from the current world situation, which is COVID-19. I'll be discussing about the access control solution with face recognition and thermal sensors. As everyone know, and as it's the most important thing, when we say COVID-19, directly we connect with the temperature. So if someone have a temperature, then it's the first thing that we may start thinking that maybe he's positive COVID-19. At the same time, as we hear a lot from the government here, that the virus itself lives around 72 hours on different services. And also the distance, the minimum distance that we should have to reduce this risk of infection, is 1 to 2 meters. So that's why we came up with some a new solution, a new innovation technology to be in the market soon, so it can help to make this safe or more safe. Because as you know, especially for the COVID-19, if someone will be sick, then it may increase to the whole entity or to the whole department that you will be working in, and it will not be safe to work anymore there. So our technology have 3 features. So the first of all, it's an access control device that it can be implemented anywhere in your entity, in the doors, in the elevators, escalators, even in the door of the department itself, on the gate control. And it have 3 features. The first one is the facial recognition. So it have a facial recognition. If we have the data of the employees or the data of the visitors that they are entering the entity, then directly it would give him an access to enter, or to give him an access approved or denied. At the same time, we added a temperature or a thermal camera with the sensors that it's accurate up to 0.2 Celsius on the same device that I'll be showing to you soon in my presentation. Also, we have the liveness check. When I'm saying liveness check, as we know that you will be going to the work and you just do a check-in by fingerprint or by card or even by your face. But let's say if I'll come and just bring my mobile and put another one picture, should it give me an access approved or no? So this is the liveness check, which is it need to have the person by himself in front of the camera to have the access approved. At the same time, this solution, as I said before, it can be integrated with all gate controls that you have in your entities or anywhere else. I'll just give a couple of features and the best features that we have in our solution. So first of all, it can detect both employees and visitors who are coming to the entity through the facial recognition system. This facial recognition system can be local in local service or in a cloud, so in your premises, or also we have it on a cloud. The accurate detection is very high, as we tested before, from different things like a skin, age, if you are wearing mask or not, if you're wearing glasses, at the same time if you're wearing hats, if you have a beard or if you don't have a beard. Same like me exactly. So I tried on myself, I was working fine so far. At the same time, as I mentioned, which is the very important thing that all of us we need it right now, is the temperature, to know the temperature directly for the person and to be accurate also. Also, it can save the entrance and the exit time of this person, either employee, either visitor. It will be showing a notification for violation. Also, you can put some rules to give permissions only in different zones for different people. Let's say there is some meeting for just only specific people, then you can just give them access only for this people, and anyone else who will be coming, it will be denied to enter the meeting room. This is our lovely access control that is 100% made in United Arab Emirates. It have some features that I will be showing to you right away. As you can see, we have in the top a video camera that it will be active when employees approach the facial recognition, when they will reach face-to-face to this device. At the same time, it have a sensors and thermal sensor that I said before, which is it's accurate up to 0.2, that it can detect the temperature of the person who's in front of it. At the same time, it can understand the distance between the device and the person. Also, there is the color display that the person who's in front of the device can see his results directly, either his picture, his name, if he's an employee or a visitor, if his access is approved or denied. Also, in the top, there is a light tagline, which is it can be changed. This light tagline, it can be changed if it will be approved or rejected. So it may be green or red. And last thing, which is sure that it will have the Wi-Fi, remote control, RTSP measurement results, and the power, external power supply. So this is, let's say, a quick brief about the access control that we have and that it was made in United Arab Emirates. Here, some use cases, like where we can use this device. So again, this device, it can be used honestly everywhere. So first of all, in the offices, in the turnstile, in the automatic doors, in the elevators, escalators, on the doors of the departments, everywhere that you want to make sure that it's more safe. You don't want anyone to enter there. And just keep in mind that even it's not about like, let's say if his temperature is fine, then he can enter. No, as we know that now the rules in United Arab Emirates is like 30% of the employees, they need to be inside office. Okay, so let's say that it reached the 30% by giving some rule to the software, then it will not open the door for anyone else, because there is already a limitation for the people to be inside this office. So also this one, it can be added there. Also, if you are doing some delivery, let's say there is some deliveries even between the departments, even let's say Emirates Post, they are delivering for you your Emirates ID. So this person who's doing the delivery, he needs to be in front of this device and check his temperature and check his details that he's the right one, that he needs to deliver this delivery to the other person. Also in the reception of the hotels, it's very needed to be there. And in the airport, railways and bus stations, and the registration desk, metal detector, turnstile, and everywhere where we can make sure that it's safe. They are taking a distance. At the same time, everyone is going with the rule, which is the 30% for now. Let's keep in mind for airports, railways, and bus stations, we need to have the face recognition database to including it. If we don't have it, then it's fine. We can use the temperature and at the same time auto enrollment facial recognition without a database. Here is not architecture, but we can say that it's how the device is working. I would love not to discuss it more. I would love to show you a video in I think 40 seconds, if you just give me the chance for that. as most of the entities here, as we can see that they are using now an access, let's say, card to enter their entities. And as we know, if you are touching any service, it's not safe for you, first of all. At the same time, it may let the people wait for longer to reach and to enter their entities. Let me just go back to my presentation. So as you saw in the video, so it's very effective, it's very easy. You can just find all the results directly within a second. All the results will be showing at the same time. If you have an access to enter, you directly have your access to enter the entity itself. Last thing that I will be discussing today is, okay, we have this solution, but is that will be enough? Because now will come the HR team, they will come on us and tell us, guys, okay, but come on, we will just implement a new access control. And what about our systems? What about what we have right now? And how we can, guys, work together on that? So we think that we should have a full smart attendance and visitor management through the facial recognition. So that devices, you can have it on the doors, but at the same time, the current cameras, which is already inside any entity, we can integrate our facial recognition software and the HR software that we have. This, it will help the HR team to do a check-in and check-out for the employees through the cameras. No need anymore for any employee to stop anywhere. At the same time, they can detect their temperature. They can give them a leaves through some HR system that already we have, and it can be integrated with all the systems that already in the market and we tested before. Let's keep in mind that this database can be for employees and visitors. So not just only for employees, because there is some entities which is there is some visitors, they are going to finish some paperwork there. And also we need to know these people, how many times they are coming and how we can make their life easy. How we can let them, let's say, not to stop on the queue, but directly reach to the person to help them. So it will be for both, for employees, at the same time for visitors. Also, we can have a specific rule inside the software for the VIP people. Let's say there is someone VIP who's coming to this entity, and I don't want him to stop on any, let's say, access door. So directly when his picture will be added to the database and he will be moving through the cameras, all the doors will be green and open for him to enter more. As I said, which is we can integrate it with the current cameras that you have. Just we need to make sure that the angle is the right angle for the face and the resolution for the camera is a little bit good, so we can get the best results. Last thing is, in the back end, they can see the dashboards and the reports. As you can see on the right of my slides, there is one of our reports, and all the reports and dashboard is purely customized per customer, which is here we have the emotions. They can know the emotions of the people they are entering in and going out. At the same time, the average age of the people, the status of he's an employee, he's a VIP, he's a visitor, and the location. What I mean by location is the camera location, and even by timing of morning time, afternoon, or night time, how many people they entered. And directly when they will enter, it will show him a notification of the person. Keep in mind that we can count the unique people that they are entering on the premise. Let's say they are the visitors, so on daily basis we are having around 7,000. Also, we have a total visitors between, let's say, visitors or even employees. That's it from my side. I hope that I give a quick brief about our new solution that we will be launching soon. Please let me know if you have any questions. At the same time, don't hesitate to send me an email anytime to help with this solution or any other solution. Thank you so much for joining one more time.
Thank you very much, Abdullah. You've got a few questions, and I would like to highlight only one of them, and the rest I would ask you to reply in the chat. What is the delivery time, implementation time?
Okay, so again, this is all depend on the scope of work that we are talking about. If we are talking about a small scope of work, then sure that it will be a different timeline. But usually the average timeline for such a project is maximum 1.5 to 2 months by max to do the implementation, the full implementation for the full solution.
All right, thank you so much, Abdullah. Please have a look at the chat and try to answer the rest of the questions. Our next speaker, Alexander Belyaev, NNTC Technical Director. He will talk about iFalcon Contactless Attendance mobile app. Alexander, please.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Lyubov, for giving me a time to talk. So let me share the slides. First of all, as Lyubov mentioned, I'm the technical director for the company. So basically, I'm more or less responsible for all the technologies we use and how they work, how they can be implemented, and all which is connected with those questions. So I would encourage you, if you have questions about technologies, about your tasks and how they can be solved, like let's say outside the webinar, outside the ideas we're discussing now, you can reach out to me through LinkedIn, through email, and any other means of communication to discuss those things. So today, I will basically continue what the topic Abdullah started. So how to manage employees, how to manage people on the enterprise in the current situation, but from a little bit different perspective. For several, let's say for several industries, we see that they face like huge problems with managing their workforce because of the limitations which appear. So, and it's basically all the industries which have field workers. So it can be a construction, facility management, it can be governmental services which have people which still have to be, let's say, outside, which still have to do some tasks. And they need to understand where those people are, if they're actually working, and things like this. So we understand that some of the technologies which are which were very popular before, like for example, fingerprint sensors and similar things, are basically banned. So you cannot use them now, and you have to have like a simple or like simpler alternative for them. So Abdullah gave an example of the device which can be implemented on in the offices and the premises as an option. But what to do if you cannot, let's say, put the terminal? It's, for example, it's some kind of mobile workers. They roam between sites, and there is no way to implement such measures. So for those cases, we developed a solution which consists of several parts. First of all, again, it uses face recognition in form of mobile application. It has a reporting feature which can provide you with all the collected information. And it allows to, for example, make pictures of some kind of violations, incidents, if it's required by the case. So the idea for it is to be given to some kind of a foreman, time tracker, or project manager, for example, which has to do this kind of task, to time tracking task, let's say. And in this perspective, the solution will allow to register everyone, register all the people, check in, check out times, check the blacklist for employees, and have always online data about where they are located, because we read the GPS coordinates as well. Have let's say online history of all the events which were registered, for later use and so on. So the mobile application can be multi-platform, and the main function for it in the system is actually to do very simple task, and it's made in a way to be as simple as possible. So first, so there is only 3 buttons in it as of now. So it's check in, check out, and the list of people which were checked in from the phone. Basically, once the foreman, for example, clicks check in, he has to do a picture of people. It can be, he can do it like, let's say, 1 by 1, or he can make pictures of groups of people. It doesn't matter. All of them, like, let's say, depending on the phone model, like from 5 to 10 people can be recognized one time, which speeds up the process and simplifies it a lot. So once the picture is made, people are recognized, the system records several parameters. So time, of course, the pictures of people. Basically, the system, of course, recognizes them and records the GPS coordinates of the place where they were checked in. The mobile application, like if you know, there is mobile temperature sensors available now on the market. So the system can be integrated with them, again, to recognize the person, check his temperature, and record this data for the historical purposes. And basically, of course, like once the person clicks check in, he does the similar thing, but the only thing changes is that the person gets checked out from the system and all the same parameters are recorded. So he can be checked in at one location, for example, then move through the day through several locations, again, checked in on each of them, and then checked out at the end of the day. Or it can be a mix, like he can be checked in, checked out on one location, then the next, and so on. So all this data goes into the system, and you have the full track record of the person's locations through the day. So on the other side, basically there is a server which holds the database of people and provides the reporting features. There is a standard reporting which saves the major data like times, locations, picture, name of the person. It calculates the shift time, and for example, if a person by the configuration worked more than the shift duration, which is by his work schedule, the system will calculate overtime, for example. And then there's different ways to integrate it with other systems. Of course, we can integrate all this data into a centralized system, which Abdullah was talking about. Or it can work as a separate system. You can just download the data from the system and put it somewhere else. So all those options are available. And again, of course, the report can be tweaked and customized for different scenarios. From the technical perspective, like I think you might guess already that the system is quite simple. So there is 2 major parts of it, which is the server and the mobile application, which can connect between each other through 4G network. So you don't need any basically infrastructure on sites where you need to do the process. So the only thing is required is a SIM card and the phone. But also there is, of course, there is still an option of connecting CCTV cameras to the system to get the similar functionality from them. If it's a fixed site, if it's the camera is already there, for example, or there is infrastructure, it might be more useful, for example. And again, because the server is basically online, you can get all the data you can make all the data accessible from anywhere. From any point, you can publish it on the internet, you can share it within an organization, between people, and so on. Again, depending on the scenario. Going to finishing my presentation, I just want to say a few things about the licensing policy. So the idea here is that we license this module as on a quantity of worker profiles and the cameras connected to the system, and the system can can be implemented on a subscription basis. So basically, with for example, with monthly payments, or in a similar way as, or it can be like a basic way with perpetual licensing with technical support for the following years. This is it about the solution. So if there is any questions, let's discuss them. I see there is a lot of things happening in the chat.
Thank you, Alex. Yes, we've got a few questions for you. The first one, can the system be deployed to the cloud?
Yeah, so there is both options available. Again, the system is quite simple from the resources requirements, let's say. So it can be deployed in the private cloud, it can be deployed in the public cloud, it can be deployed on the customer servers, let's say, on the servers which are already there, depending on the requirements. Then you can just have then you just have to provide the networking capabilities in the right way.
Okay. And one more question, if there is any customized reports available?
Well, yeah, as I shortly mentioned, we can, there is one standard report which provides the generic information. This report can be, let's say, downloaded and analyzed as Excel sheet, for example, where you can filter, summarize the rows, calculate the fields, and do whatever is required. For example, HRMS or maybe attendance systems can use it as an input. Can use this Excel sheet as an input to put the data there. So that's the first way of integration. If something additional is required, we can do we can of course make a customized report by the requirements, by the template you might have in your organization, and let's say we can do additional development if some kind of software integration required with your current systems.
Thank you very much, Alex, for answers. I would like to introduce George Avanesian, NNTC Deputy General Manager. He will speak about time control and data leak prevention for office employees working from home. Please, George.
Thanks, Luba. Hi to everyone. Good morning. Hope you are not asleep yet, and I hope you are still energized. Thank you for all who come. Let me switch to presentation mode. Yeah. Soon you should start seeing my screen. Is it visible already? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Great. So yes, thanks you, Luba, again. My name is Georgi. I'm Deputy General Manager in NNTC, and I'm holding the shared position also with with the deputy general manager in our, let's say, one of the company group, company Krok. So I'm serving more like a bridge between our companies, yes, to transfer the knowledge, to transfer the expertise, to add to some great innovative minds of NNTC, to add there some additional technical expertise. For example, like Dmitry said in his speech, that we usually can do also the full implementation, like a system integrator. And for that purpose, of course, we are engaging guys from our other companies from the group. So, but today we will speak more about time control and data leak prevention for office employees. Yeah, and you all know the current situation. Yes, we all switch to work from home, or let's say 95–99% of the people who is still working, let's say not on the vacation, not on the hold. Yes, we are working from home, and this is let's say the case for the whole world, not only UAE, not only Russia or some other countries. It's the whole world. Yeah, and we have to switch our employees to remote work. And of course, even the companies with a good disaster recovery plans, who was prepared to some remote working, have some tools for remote working, were not prepared for such a scale of remote working from employees. So workplaces, remote workplaces, remote infrastructure was not ready for that. And most important, not only technology, but people. Yes, the people is, how to say, are not ready. Yeah? People don't have needed mindset to work from home in most of the cases. That's not mean there are wrong people or some bad people. No, of course not. They just can't do that from home. Yeah, because there is a family, there is a kids, there is a, I don't know, animals. There is a lot of distracting factors. There is a lot of infrastructure issues, like personal laptops, home laptops are maybe not capable enough to carry the load. Many applications are missed from that. So, and network connectivity issues, because you have everyone who has an internet at home, but is it enough for the real, how to say, real quality working? Yeah, we can just be distracted and leave our new workplace, home workplace, yes, unattended. So that leads to the failure in the deadlines. That means in the security breaches and many more. Yeah. So all around the world, organization managers are facing these questions, which highlighted in the slide. How we can monitor that people are actually completing the tasks. Yes. How we can monitor that actually they are working all this time and not seeing the favorite TV show. Yes, because many TV shows, many channels now are giving for free some very nice stuff, and of course there is a big, how to say, big distraction from that. Yeah? So what can we offer? What can we as NNTC can offer to fight this, to solve this problem? We have in our portfolio product remote control application. I just want to underline that it's not actually the new product. We were promoting it in some countries long before, but of course not on this scale. It was mostly focused on some remote developers, remote marketing managers, and so on. But now we are offering it's like for the whole enterprises, for all enterprises, because we are now all like a remote workers. So what this remote control application can do? Yes, we can monitor the check-in and check-out of employee for the remote workplace, home or whatever. Yes, we can detect small, short coffee breaks during the working hours. Yeah, we can track all remote user activity, what applications are running, what websites are surfing, and many more. Yeah. And we providing you as a manager to the company managers the whole picture, overall picture of timetable with all working hours, short absence or longer absence from the workplace. So all in one, you will have the full picture of what your remote employees are doing actually, and if they are doing some effective stuff or not so. How it works, yeah, in a very like quick manner. Actually, like any management discipline, you need to plan something. Yes, you need to do as it was planned. You need to check is your plan is coming true. Is there any new obstacles, new circumstances arise? And if there is a new obstacles, new circumstances, you need to act. You need to put some corrective measures in place. So this is the same principles. Yes, we plan deploying this software to remote workplaces, our software. We collect all data, we analyze this data, we alert you or whoever is needed to be alerted if there is some kind of breaches or some kind of things are going not as planned. Yes, we provide full report for the management to enable you to put these corrective measures in place, and we can even block if there is a predefined blocking strategy. For example, we can block and forbid for the employees during the working hours. That's important, during the working hours, to access some websites or access some application. So actually this means that you can use your personal laptop during working hours only to do your work, yes, and outside working hours you can still continue to play with your kids in some games or watch your favorite TV series online on Netflix or whatever. Yeah? So a bit about reports. Product comes with many predefined reports. Yeah, already predefined. You can see it. You will see it from the box, out of the box. But also it can be customized. Yes, we are ready to customize any reports in the way you need it, in the way your company is needed. Many companies have already some reporting management in place, yes, and we can follow these guidelines. Analytics can be done on a different measures, yes, productive time, personal time activities. Even we can, based on check-in, check-out time, we can do like a late report. Yes, is anyone late to work from home? Is if it's applicable, of course, for your organization. Yeah, and it can be tracked for the department, for the organization, for the exact employee or group of employees or team or project team or in any teams you will create. Yeah, so the report will reflect the overall effectiveness of all teams. Deployment, yes, it can be deployed in two ways. It can be deployed on-premise in the customer side or in the cloud, central server. Yeah, the application agent, let's say, is intended to be installed in the remote workplace, and it can be deployed automatically or manually. And server can be deployed in cloud or in the premise. If it's a cloud installation, it's up to 3 days of implementation. Actually, 3 days, it's even like it's a worst case scenario. We have some experience with deployment less than 1 day. Yeah, so it's like 3 days for cloud. It's even like maximum. And a little bit about the pricing, because previously on all presentations there was questions about the pricing, so I decided to put price just like some kind of indicative price here. So price per 100 employees per month, you will pay only $40, and if you are signing for the 1 year, you will pay only $12 per employee per month. Yeah, so I just urge you to ask about actual prices, with actual number of employees, and what is more important, we have to announce, and glad to announce, not have to announce, but glad to announce that during this, let's say, difficult time for all of us, yes, 1 month trial is available, absolutely free. You can order the trial for up to 100 employees for absolutely free, and you can start using the software. And after the 1 month, you can decide is to prolong the usage, or you will see that it's somehow not applicable to you, and you can cancel it with no fee whatsoever. Yeah, this prices is referred to cloud installation, of course. But if for an on-premise installation, I would urge you again to ask us to, let's say, to inquire from us the real pricing. So that's all. Please, if you have any questions, I will try to answer as much as possible now, and all the rest, be sure that we will answer either in chat or in email follow-up. Yeah.
Thank you, George. We've got a few questions for you.
Sure.
One of them, is it possible to have a demo of this solution?
Absolutely, absolutely. As a demo, it's 1 month free trial available, but demo, of course, yes, we can arrange it, and it's very easy to show it. Yeah.
How can I register for the demo?
You can apply either to my email address or general email address of the NNTC, info@nntc.digital. It will be mentioned in follow-up email, which all the participants will receiving. So just wrote us that you want to register for the demo or for the free trial, and we will be glad to help you.
And one more question, will it track working with Word, Excel, other customer application? How the breaks are being measured?
Excuse me, last one, how what?
Will it track working with Word, Excel, other custom application? How the breaks are being measured?
Yeah, so as I said that there will be a remote agent application installed on the workplace, yes. So it will definitely track the activities in the all office application, yeah. And breaks, it will be detected by user inactivity. So if there is no any activities in needed application or websites, it immediately will raise the flag that user is inactive. Also is available to show some pop-up, not distracted, not very often, but in random time, some pop-up application, pop-up notification in the workplace to ask the employee to put some answer for the question or to put some words, yes? So this means that any, let's say, fake activities, keyboard activities, logger will not be able to false the system, yeah.
Thank you very much, George.
This will be covered in the demo, of course. Yes, we will show it how it works. Yes, this random notification with checking that the person is at the desktop at the time and he is really active. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you everyone for the questions. We will share with you answers over the email for sure. Thank you everyone for participating in our surveys. Your opinion is very important. Your feedback is very valuable for us. Thanks a lot for joining us today, and stay safe.
Thank you. Stay safe, guys. Ramadan Mubarak, and
bye
please
everyone.
Be safe. Yeah.
Ramadan Kareem. Till next time.
Thank you everyone. مشكورين. يعطيكم ألف عافية.